Now, from Las Vegas, Nevada, CES, long known as the Consumer Electronics Show, has been the place to announce new advancements in technology each year. With details and coverage on this week's excitement, here's Benjamin Rockwell with Computer Talk Radio.
ComputerTalkRadio.com. ComputerTalkRadio.com. The phone number, 888-NERD-888. That's 888-6373-888. I'm Keith M. Sedor. I am the one that stayed behind while Benjamin and Steve and Deb Shadovitz all went to the place where when you go there, you're not supposed to tell people what happened there. But Benjamin,
exactly.
I am curious as anything. What happened in Vegas? What happened at CES 2017?
All right. So CES 2017, CES every year is the Consumer Electronics Show.
But it no longer stands for Consumer Electronics Show, Benjamin. It now is just CES.
Yeah.
Because in reality, everybody who has attended CES in any scope or fashion in any year knows that when vendors are displaying their wares, many of which are prototypes, everybody knows that CES actually stands for coming, expected soon, or expected sometime.
Very true. Very true. I will tell you right off. There's a section, we talked about this last week. There's a section called Eureka Park. I spent 20 minutes in Eureka Park. It was 19 minutes longer than I should have. That section is all this stuff that we're going to be going to Kickstarter for this. Oh, no, we're not even going to go to Kickstarter. We're going to Indiegogo. No, we're going to go to this crowdfunding company you've never heard of.
Not even a GoFundMe.
Yeah, exactly. They go on out and they've got this grand idea and they pay pennies to get in there, whatever it is. And they've got this small little booth. And there are 3 guys there that are all really excited about their product. As a matter of fact, there was one company. These guys were all hyped up. This was not at Eureka Park, but one of the I call them after hours events. They're after the show floor closes, but they are for press only. And these 2 guys, I swear, they both had like a dozen 5-hour energy drinks in the last 10 minutes before I saw them. They had this.
You're only supposed to have no more than 2 of those per day.
Yeah, these guys were hyped. They were talking really fast, and they were just talking about how great this case was. And this case was basically a new modular case where you basically got the battery. You know, what's the Mophie
juice pack? Sure.
The Mophie juice pack, and it's built into the case, right? Mm-hmm. But what they did was the case is replaceable, and the battery pack stays the same. So you no longer have to buy the battery pack and their additional items, which was it added memory and stuff like that. You would just replace the outer case. But they were so hyped over this, they said, and soon OtterBox is going to be making their cases around our design, and everybody else is going to be making this.
That's not even something that appeals to me, Benjamin. That's like a fashion accessory for girls. Me? I have I have a Spigen Neo Hybrid. It's a nice black case, and it goes around my phone with minimalist precision. And that's the beginning and end of my case for me for 2 years, unless it breaks and then I buy a replacement of the same one because I like it so much.
Sure.
But these people want to interchange your cases like with what you're wearing. That's just nuts.
Oh, yeah. And of course, okay, so CES has a number of different things. The North Hall, this is one of the other halls, different from where Eureka Park was. North Hall has all of the case manufacturers there, whether it's Casemate or Incipio or Zag or Bodyguards or Evutech or I didn't see Ballistic there. I haven't seen them for a while, but you've got the idea. All of these case manufacturers. And then there's the Sands Convention Center. We kind of mentioned this last time. The size of CES is huge. It's somewhere around 2.4 million square feet of official show floor space. Do you think I saw a third of that?
It's my understanding that it's virtually impossible to see all of CES because most trade shows take up an event center, and CES, and again, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm just going by what I've heard, CES is like the size of a city.
It pretty much is. It's scattered across. So the Las Vegas Convention Center in itself is a large convention center. It is larger than the Los Angeles Convention Center. It's larger than...
Have you ever been out here to New York to the Javits Center?
I've never been there, so I don't know. I can't compare there, but I've been to Chicago, and I've been to Los Angeles, and I've been to the big one in Orange County, which is Anaheim. And I've been to the Los Angeles County Fairgrounds, which has a bunch of buildings there. And this is by far the largest. But forget that. So they also have the Sands Convention Center and all of the space there. And that's a large size convention center there. That's about the size of the Los Angeles Convention Center. But wait, there's also the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. They occupied all of that floor space. But
how long does it take you to travel between these locations?
It seems like hours.
Now, do they have some type of, and Las Vegas is a very hot place, I'm assuming, even in the winter. So do they have some type of interconnected skyways the way Minneapolis does? So like when you're in downtown Minneapolis, you're not walking between buildings. You're walking in between buildings and skyways.
There is a monorail which goes between groups of hotels to the Las Vegas Convention Center, where there is which is a group of hotels in itself as well.
You'd think I remember that because I've only been to Las Vegas once, and that was in 2008 for the closing of the Star Trek Experience at the Las Vegas Hilton.
Yeah. So
I do remember getting off that monorail train there.
Yeah,
I think it was at the second or third to last stop.
Yeah, and there are 3 different monorails now in Las Vegas. Which is very interesting. I understand the pass works for all 3 of the monorails, but they're not connected. It's like some of them go between just specific 2 hotel groupings and stuff like that. It's kind of weird.
So let me ask you this, Benjamin. As a member of the press and not specifically a fan or an enthusiast of any one company or product, how do you decide how to divvy up your time during the entire convention?
What I did is I set aside one day for the Sands, one day for South Hall, one day for Central and North Halls, and one day let's see here. Yeah, a day and a half to polish off the rest.
Were you actually at CES?
Well, I was there for actually a few more days than that. So first day was just a special event, a couple of special events that were press only. Then the press conferences, and then let's see here. So then that was the Sands, and then South Hall, then North and Central Hall, and then the last day was for leftover stuff. So
now,
yeah,
my
whatever that was,
that
5, 6.
They feed you pretty well out there, do they not?
Yes. Oh, yes. The food there is amazing. There is
really. Now, is this during the day, or is this at after-hours parties sponsored by specific companies? How does that all work? Because I mean, if you describe this well enough, the foodie in me may just need to get out there for that.
I will tell you that every event has food. There's also alcohol at the after-hours events. It's not something I do, but mostly because I'm recording, and then at the end also
Now, if you said they had free-flowing milkshakes, I'm like, all right, I'm listening.
You know, I bet you the Wynn has that. The win, it was ice cream. They had a bunch of ice cream there, a bunch of different items of ice cream. I'll tell you this much. At the Win, they have San Pellegrino. That's their bottled water that they hand out to the various press that are there.
Well, you know what, Benjamin? I want to hear more about that in the next upcoming segment, because Benjamin Rockwell will be back, and I will be asking him even more questions about all of the goings-on at CES 2017. And we'll be back in just a moment with more Computer Talk Radio.
This is a special extended presentation of Computer Talk Radio. In radio markets where this show lasts only an hour, you will find extra information on the podcast at computertalkradio.com.
Let me tell you about The Radio Factory, an exciting new venue for talk radio. It's the internet, the wave of the present. My name is Benjamin Rockwell, and I'm the host of a syndicated radio program, Computer Talk Radio, so I know the internet is here and now. Many of the hosts at theradiofactory.com have their own podcasts or radio shows across the country, but many people like the comfort of listening to their own special radio show at a specific time and day, much like we watch live television. The internet, as you're probably aware, is a powerful tool that allows the Radio Factory to deliver unique programming with far more variety than the windbags who are simply about contriving up viewpoints to get you riled up. Additionally, you'll find that many of the programs are shorter, giving more information in less time. Stick with theradiofactory.com and see how it evolves to keep you entertained, interested, informed, and above all, intelligent. After all, the Radio Factory motto is building your intelligence one talk show at a time. theradiofactory.com.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, CES coverage on Computer Talk Radio continues now.
ComputerTalkRadio.com. ComputerTalkRadio.com. I'm Keith M. Sedor, sitting in the big chair this week as we allow Benjamin time to decompress because he has traipsed all over the greater metropolitan Las Vegas area to bring us the latest and the greatest in computer technology. And not just computer technology, electronics, gadgets, gizmos, and anything else that would stop working if we ever had a digital apocalypse like they had in the NBC TV series Revolution.
Nice. I like how you worked that in. Man, I will tell you, so CES is definitely grueling, and yes, I do need to decompress some. I want to speak to that for a moment. One of the things that I had to do, we got to town on Tuesday, walking. That's Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and I woke up on Saturday, and my heel had locked up so bad that I couldn't walk without excruciating pain. And same with my knee. It was also giving me grief.
What did you do to remedy that, my friend?
I rented a scooter. I feel so old. I rented one of those, I don't want to say old people scooters.
You could do something cool like a Segway?
No. Okay, so they don't allow Segways except if you are bona fide, you've had a doctor sign off on your infirmity, and there's like 4 other criteria that they attach to the Segway. Basically, you're limited to certain venues, and it has to be ADA, bona fide ADA, not you just say, hey, I'm doing it. And stuff like that. It's it gets kind of ugly. And yet they'll have you one of those big unwieldy supermarket golf cart things. Pretty much, yeah. It wasn't that unwieldy. It was about the smallest variation on that you can find. Mm-hmm. But it was still one of those things where I felt kind of awkward in it.
I'm sitting here imagining you wheeling up to these things. Excuse me, beep, beep, excuse me. I got to come through. Got to do an interview. Computer Talk Radio. Was it like that?
No, because I'm a little bit more patient. I don't fly along through these things sitting on the horn. Get out of the way. No, nothing like that.
Well, you do a really good old person, Benjamin.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah. All right. Anyways.
That coming from somebody 6 months my junior.
Yes, exactly. Do you feel old yet?
No, I have 2 young children. I'll never be old.
Yeah, just wait until they hit like junior high and you're trying to keep up with them.
Benjamin, I got news for you. God has put me on this planet to do a certain number of things, and right now I am so far behind, I will never die.
I like that.
Back
thought.
To CES.
Yes, okay.
Tell me, what was the most interesting thing that you saw at CES?
The most interesting, this year.
Because I'm going to ask you another couple questions that are variations on this. So tell me, what was the one takeaway that was like the most interesting thing you thought was the coolest?
It's hard to say. I think I got a chance to sit in a BMW i8.
Okay.
Which I think that was cool, but that's not really a techie cool thing. This year was
where was the gee whiz factor for you?
The gee whiz factor, what, in the car?
In anything you saw?
There wasn't anything that reached out and grabbed me this year. Last year was.
It's funny you say that, because
similar to that.
While I was waiting for you to come back from CES, there were a couple of our other fellow podcasters, like the guys over at the Mac Observer's Daily Observations, who do a daily show, who basically weren't talking about anything Apple in this past week, and they were all over at CES, and they were basically saying what you just said, was that there was very little this year that was reach out and grab you. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So LG has a wallpaper TV. Okay. It's a slightly thinner than the iPhone. Okay. That's sort of the natural progression of things. That's where we've been going. So virtual reality and drones. Yeah.
Okay.
So all of these things have just been, they're slowly building on what we've seen in previous years.
Okay. Now, was there anything that you saw that was covetous that you absolutely were like, oh man, I have to have that?
The BMW i8. There were a number of things that were nice to haves. There wasn't anything brand new that I said, oh, I have to buy that. But then again, I'm not that materialistic, I guess.
Okay. What about as far as surprises go? What did you see there that absolutely was jaw-dropping? I was like, wow, I didn't even conceive of that. Whether it was like a Bluetooth toaster, because like, who needs to set their toaster from across the room?
Well, there is a company that came out with a smart toaster. Like your smart fridge, they've got an internet-connected toaster so that you can make sure that it always has just the right amount of toasting on your white bread. What? I don't have to have that. I don't want to have that. That to me, that was just mind-blowing weird. I think Casio's press conference, I talked about that last week. The press conference was about last year's watch. That kind of grabbed me and shook a hold of me and said, what am I doing in the Casio press conference if this is what they're doing? That was all they covered.
Interesting. So you had an opportunity to interview quite a number of vendors this week, didn't you, Benjamin?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I did interview Casio. Oddly enough, they didn't talk about their new projector technology. We're going to be talking about that. That's in this week's show. We've got, the full 2 hours that's remaining. Everything that's remaining in the full 2 hours, I should say, is interviews.
Yeah,
so
we've
talked with IK Multimedia. We've talked with somebody called Battery Belt. We've talked with.
Wait. Does Batman use them?
He should. He should. Actually, this is a belt for police officers that gives them a battery pack right at their belt level. It replaces their existing belt. The technology is Sam Brown. It replaces their Sam Brown with another Sam Brown, but it has a battery built into it. And we talked with Stern Pinball. We've talked with Stern Pinball in previous years, but they've got some brand new pinball games, and they've moved out of the pinball game space into the video game space, which is exciting as well.
That goes all the way back to our youth. Stern is one of the originators.
Oh, yeah. So I spoke with Gary Stern, and I will tell you, he is always a fascinating interview.
That sounds like an excellent interview. I can't wait to hear that one, Benjamin.
I will tell you 2/3 of the conversation that I had with him was not recorded. I went, afterwards, oh, man, I should have recorded that. Oh, I should have recorded that. Yeah.
How many times have we recorded, Benjamin, and we just decided, let's just roll and we start talking?
It's been a while. It's been all of probably about 20 minutes since we last decided to do that. And, it usually works out pretty well, though.
It does. The content and the editing, especially the editing, makes this show pristine and polished.
It is. It is.
But this week, as our roles are reversed, I'm heading up the microphone in the big chair, and you're doing all the editing.
Yes, I am. I have to do all of the editing, and the nice thing is that it's going to work out really well.
And Benjamin, we have a lot of interviews for our listeners, so please stick around. There's a lot of Computer Talk Radio coming up, and it's going to be amazing. If I know Benjamin, it's going to be great. We'll be back with more Computer Talk Radio in just a moment.
I'm constantly looking for the right place to get computer hardware. It's not easy, as there are so many stores that have gone out of business, so many shady characters online, or they're simply not capable of handling diverse needs. In 1979, two guys got together and built a computer company that could serve your nerdy needs. Micro Center. The wide range of products at Micro Center includes even the latest of Raspberry Pi, Arduino, and other hobbyist-level computers. They also have drones. They've got them in all price categories, from toys to, oh boy. Look, you're looking for console gaming, home automation. Micro Center's got that. Hardware, software, accessories, or, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. From Apple to Zyxel, Micro Center has what you're looking for. 25 stores across the nation, or you can check them out online at microcenter.com. That's microcenter.com.
CES coverage on Computer Talk Radio continues now.
Hi, Ben. Hi, everyone out there. This is Deb Shadovitz, and I am in Las Vegas for CES, and I have a special treat for myself today and to share with you, because I am in the room with my friend Jon, who has become a friend over many, many years, and Jon is the owner, creator, founder, and engineer for a company called Radtech. You've heard me talk about Radtech before, but I don't get to sit down with Jon very often. And we're sitting down now to share with you the story of really good iPhone lightning cables, actually. Because I'm pretty sure everyone out there has had a cable go bad at some point or another. So when I had a cable go bad, I turned to Jon and said, do you have anything that's not going to keep on dying on me? So, Jon, tell us the history, please, of this cable that has started a trend.
Well, first of all, hello, Ben. Hello, Deb. It's been 15 years. Can you believe that? Since
that we've known each other.
Known each other, yeah. The company's 15 years old.
Wow.
So that's interesting. So, on the lightning cable, yes. Interesting story on that cable. I'm pretty easy on stuff, so I don't tend to tear cables up. But a lot of people do. So the story behind the cable, which is actually called UHD, Ultra Heavy Duty Lightning.
Right.
So that's the name that we're using for it. Kind of came about, and actually I started building this cable about 3 years ago, and I did it for a client. I do a lot of contract manufacturing for other companies, and I had a client come to me that had a very demanding application. They needed a very tough cable, and it was actually to use in tractors, out in fields, farmers, things like that. So the cables that were on the market were just not holding up at all. So they found me. I went to work on building a cable for them. And in the course of doing that, we have a retail store in St. Louis. And, I started noticing that a lot of people were walking into the store and they were looking for lightning cables. And they were purchasing 5 to 6 cables at a time. And, I thought that was kind of odd. And I started asking people, why are you buying so many cables? Because it became a trend. And people were telling me that they were buying them for their kids. Their kids were going through cables, at a clip of about 1 a month.
Wow.
So I kind of looked into it and wanted to find out why they were going through these cables. And it's probably for the same reason a lot of people sort of, destroy cables. And that is they're in bed or they're, on the couch. They plug the cable into their device and they're kind of flipping their device around. They're putting a lot of stress on that end of the cable that plugs into the device.
Yes, or when we're using it, when we're talking on the phone or whatever with it, then we bend the cable in the palm of our hand as we're holding the device.
Yep. And a lot of kids, and what I did, I was marking cables and, I would let kids use them and then I would come back later and look. And the line that I drew on the cable sometimes had about 5 or 6 coils in it. And so that's what put me on to, hey, that this is where the cables are generally weak. So it was just a matter of strengthening up that end and preventing the cable, the connector from twisting on the cable. So
now I've noticed some cables will have this discoloration at the end of it, right before the connector. And I see this frequently on my iPhone cables. What is that going on?
So that's generally the material that the jacket of the cable's made out of, and sort of the chemistry of your body oils and sweat and things like that actually is reacting with that material and
just breaking it down.
It just it actually that material just picks up the chemistry in your hand, and if there's any oils or anything like that, and that's what discolors that. You probably can remember the white iBooks had sort of that same kind of, they use the same material on the palm rest, and they would discolor as well.
Yes. Yeah. Now that's not any kind of a damage to the actual cable, right? It didn't affect the way doesn't affect the way the cables work. It just doesn't look nice.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that material just tends to stain easily, and there's a kind of a lot of things in life that do that. I think the Apple Watch bands are kind of made out of that material, so sometimes you'll see them discolor easily.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So let me ask you about going back to the cable. You strengthened the part where the cable goes into the plug part.
Into the connector, right.
So that won't break apart so well, because that is the worst place where the strain is and the connection starts to short out. Right. You get the thing saying this cable is not good with, this device is not good with with your iPhone or whatever.
Right.
But now the other part is we tangle our cables. They get all kinked up in weird positions and stuff like that. And that's got to be affecting the quality of what you're using it for.
Right. So when you bend a cable, beyond a 90-degree bend, and if you do that repeatedly, eventually the wires inside are going to fracture. It's like anything. If you bent a piece of licorice repeatedly, eventually it's gonna weaken and break, and that's exactly what happens to the wires inside.
Right,
so,
but it still tastes good, licorice.
It still tastes good, yeah.
So now your cables don't do that.
Right. So that is because we use a jacket on the cable that prevents it from kinking.
What's this made out of?
It's a braided jacket. It's nylon, and it has some Kevlar fibers in it, so it will not let it kink beyond a certain point. And that jacket is tied into the connector, so the connector can't twist independently of the cable jacket. So, yeah.
All right, cool. I don't know how much time we have left, so I'm going to ask you now. Please Remind us of your name, say it properly for me, and the URL where people can find out more about this cable.
So my last name, say properly?
Yes, I hate to say I'm not good at it.
Grzeskowiak. The company's Radtech, and it's radtech.com, RADTECH.
.com.
.com. Actually, .anything will pretty much get you to...
Right, you have a lot of the URLs over
the,
time.
Right, the TLDs.
Okay, so now that we have a few more seconds, I love this cable because it never kinks and it's so fabulous and it flows and it's the go-to cable. I can't imagine not having this cable. Yeah.
Right.
This is a special extended presentation of Computer Talk Radio. In radio markets where this show lasts only an hour, you will find extra information on the podcast at computertalkradio.com. That's computertalkradio.com.
Hi, this is Benjamin Rockwell. Most of us use digital cameras nowadays, but what do we do with those old pictures and slides in the back of the closet? Well, let me tell you about Legacy Digital Productions. They specialize in taking your old memories on film, videotape, and slides and digitizing them to DVDs. If you have boxes of old slides, then you know they fade more and more each year. Let Legacy Digital scan them for you and stop the aging process dead in its tracks. You'll get beautiful 10-megapixel digital files, color-corrected and ready for printing. All this is done faster and cheaper than buying a film scanner and doing it yourself. Your files are then burned onto gold archival DVD discs where they will last for generations. Call right now, mention my name, Benjamin Rockwell, and receive a 30% discount on your order. Call toll-free 1-866-2-LEGACY. That's 1-866-2-LEGACY. And tell them Benjamin sent you. Your memories are priceless, so call 866-2-LEGACY now.
Now, from Las Vegas, Nevada, CES, long known as the Consumer Electronics Show, has been the place to announce new advancements in technology each year. CES coverage on Computer Talk Radio continues now.
Las Vegas is known, well, they're known for a number of things, whether it's the gambling or the drinking, but you know what? One of the other things they're known for, the buffets.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The Wynn Hotel has this grilled cheese sandwich that's unlike anything you've ever imagined. Blue cheese and like 4 other cheeses.
Yeah.
And white chocolate.
Ooh.
And it actually works. It really works. Yeah.
Of course, anything works with good cheese.
Yeah. Oh man. And that is one of those things that we get to kind of spoiled at here at CES.
That's right. And ask any mouse. Cheese is the way to go.
Here we go. Speaking of going, let's get back to the floor here with Computer Talk Radio.
I am here with Luc Perart. Did I do that right?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. And he is with Pkvitality. And this is one of those situations where sometimes we see cutting-edge items that are going to be very important in the coming future. One of the things that I'm familiar with, I'm trying to get a hold of my weight. I'm trying to get a hold of my blood sugars. I'm trying to get my life back physically into a better condition. So I've been testing my blood sugar on a regular basis. Now that's a painful proposition. You poke your finger with a needle, and then you get the blood over onto the test strip. It's all craziness. Now imagine, if you will, the chance to be able to do that without actually breaking the skin. Well, I don't know, Luke. Though, does it actually break the skin, or is it like taking just like a little bit of the skin off, or what?
Yeah, actually, this Revolution smartwatch that we bring soon on the market has this kind of capsule with a microneedle, and this microneedle get through your skin. So you're right, it get through your skin, but it's so small. It's like 0.5 millimeter that you don't feel it. And you know why you don't feel it? It's because the mechanical nerve is under 1 millimeter, and that's why it's magic. You don't feel anything.
Wow. Yeah. So I had a chance to feel one of these, and it was like, I'm not feeling it poking me or anything like that. So this is something that you guys are taking in a number of different directions. So you've got, for an example, people can get a watch. It's a large watch, but it's fitting into the size of a watch.
Yes, that's a large watch, but the technology we bring here allow you to get in real time, penless, blood-free, fast and simple, your glucose level. Just you press a button, you have a value in few seconds.
Yeah. Now, so you've got this in a number of different variations. So there's a travel variation, or I guess people have been requesting a box rather than the watch because, of course, we all have our favorite watches. We got our smart watches, our Apple Watch, whatever it is that we're carrying around. This is a small little box that, frankly, it's the size of about 2 remote key fobs for your car.
Exactly. Yeah. We do this because we know the watch is a big, huge. We say like double than an Apple Watch. It's okay for a man, generally speaking. But imagine the kids. Imagine a woman who have like a Hermes watch doesn't want to change, or a sport guy with a Garmin watch, whatever. Still, they have diabetes and they don't want to change their watch. So that's why we think about this small box. You just need to remove the wrist of your watch. You exchange by 2 small rubber, and you always have with you on your bag this box with the kind of small watch inside. You just need to take out of the box, push it few seconds on your wrist or whatever, and you have a value in a few seconds.
This is very cool. This is something. What kind of price point are we talking about? What's your? I know we're still in prototyping phases and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Today, the price we expect is around $149. So it's a normal price, a basic price for a smartwatch, I would say.
Yeah.
And for the capsule that you have to change every month, because this capsule is a chemical sensor inside.
Sure.
And it means chemical means life, and it means die. So every month it dies, so you have to change it. It's around $99.
Okay.
Which is the price of what you pay when you are diabetic with the needles.
Right.
And so on.
Right. And the test strips and the needles,
exactly.
And
Sure.
it all goes, it all goes crazy. So now, taking it the next step, where are you going with this? Are you how do we keep track of this? Is this holding the information? Do you have an app that you're dealing with, or anything like that?
Yeah, the first point is everything is on the watch. So on the watch, it gives you the value.
Or the box.
Yeah, on the box. But on the screen of the watch, you get the value right away. You get the statistic on the day. You have the historic on the day. And if you need more, by Bluetooth, everything go to the smartwatch or smartphone, Android or iPhone, and then you can share with the doctor. You can share with your parents if you are a kid, with your kids if you are a senior, all your data, and then everybody everybody know if you do it correctly or not.
Very cool. This is very exciting. What is the website where people can find out more, track what you're doing with this?
Yeah, you just need to go to Pkvitality.com. And you can subscribe if you want to go to the newsletter. You can even subscribe to a beta test because end of the year we expect to do a beta test. I say end of the year because we have to go mass production. You have to go to a medical certification. This is a medical
the
device.
FDA,
so
all
we still
that,
need at least it will be for next year. But end of the year we expect some beta tests. So you can come on the website and you can get some watch to test.
Very cool. Thank you very much, Luke.
Thank you to you.
This is a special extended presentation of Computer Talk Radio. In radio markets where this show lasts only an hour, you will find extra information on the podcast at computertalkradio.com. That's computertalkradio.com.
Years ago, I found a web hosting company that fit my needs as a computer nerd, as a radio show host, and just a normal person. Recently, though, it was clear to me that it was time to upgrade, but I had a choice between my old plan and the new one at 7 times the cost. It was that awkward point where I could choose between a sip of water or being dunked in a pool. I searched around, comparing the many options for someone like me. After searching around for 3 weeks, there it was, SiteGround. In proper fashion, I tested their customer service, their knowledge, and their willingness to do things the right way. The SiteGround salesman made sure that I didn't overbuy and get a 50-gallon bucket when a 32-ounce soda would do. These guys know WordPress, Joomla, and regular standard websites. These guys at SiteGround are awesome. SiteGround.com. Site, S-I-T-E, ground.com.
We were unable to speak with somebody at Intel. They are. We arrived on Sunday, and apparently they mixed some wires up, and they just didn't have anybody in the press relations booth to help us out. Now, we did get a chance to wander around the booth some. They are doing a lot in regards to virtual reality and augmented reality and something new called merged reality.
Wow, that was really cool.
Yeah, we just got out of a BMW i8. Now, this is the electric high-speed sports car that's coming from BMW. They've got the i3, which personally I think looks rather unappealing. I'll say it like that. It's just not a nice-looking car. The i8, on the other hand, nice, low-slung sports car.
Yeah.
Gull-wing doors. Actually, not really the gull-wing. The sort of the flip-forward and out kind of. Yeah, I don't know what
like
they call those.
Than anything.
Yeah, wing doors. Yeah, very, very nice car.
Oh,
but they were showing some of the augmented reality or merged reality with. We've got the reality and all of the information that will eventually come to us
via the car
and the surroundings, all of the different monitors around the car.
Yeah.
Now,
like when the cars will keep passing you in the reality, and you're saying, maybe I got to hit the gas to catch up with these.
Sure, yeah. And it showed some traffic lights and warning signs as we almost hit something. And So my biggest concern, though, with virtual reality and merged reality and augmented reality, as we've discussed, is that it's going to come a little bit more seamless into our lives than a lot of the clunky, big, huge glasses that we're putting on and things like that.
We have to basically go for that whole idea of augmented reality is let's bring reality to us, but not necessarily have it stuck right on our face to do so.
Yeah, heavy glasses, big, huge. Well, these were actually some of the lighter versions that I've dealt with. There's a neat version which allows you to strap your entire your Note 7. Well, hopefully not your Note 7 because that could just far. But your Samsung phone, your iPhone, to your basically it straps it right in front of your eyes and gives special lenses. But this was a lot better than that. At the same time, I think we're glimpsing the future. I don't think it's going to be quite.
It's not going to be there. Soon. I figure that it's probably going to take you about another 5, maybe 10 years before that really start to get into in the automobiles.
But even then, I think it's going to come in an organic way. It's going to naturally. People are going to say, "Oh, here it is," and it's just
going to be there. It's there.
Yeah. If people aren't, I don't think people are going to buy into this, much like people didn't buy into 3D television.
Yeah. It's also like, people going in there, and of course, in my father's age, it was a radio in a car. Who needs a radio in your car? Now everybody's got either a CD player, a radio, or satellite radio, whatever.
Very good point.
This is a special extended presentation of Computer Talk Radio. In radio markets where this show lasts only an hour, you will find extra information on the podcast at computertalkradio.com. That's computertalkradio.com.
Let me tell you about the Radio Factory, an exciting new venue for talk radio. It's the internet, the wave of the present. My name is Benjamin Rockwell, and I'm the host of a syndicated radio program, Computer Talk Radio, so I know the internet is here and now. Many of the hosts at theradiofactory.com have their own podcasts or radio shows across the country, but many people like the comfort of listening to their own special radio show at a specific time and day, much like we watch live television. The internet, as you're probably aware, is a powerful tool that allows the Radio Factory to deliver unique programming with far more variety than the windbags who are simply about contriving up viewpoints to get you riled up. Additionally, you'll find that many of the programs are shorter, giving more information in less time. Stick with theRadioFactory.com and see how it evolves to keep you entertained, interested, informed, and above all, intelligent. After all, the Radio Factory motto is building your intelligence one talk show at a time. TheRadioFactory.com.
Now, from Las Vegas, Nevada, CES, long known as the Consumer Electronics Show, has been the place to announce new advancements in technology each year. With details and coverage on this week's excitement, here's Benjamin Rockwell with Computer Talk Radio.
As you wander around the Consumer Electronics Show, CES, you find all kinds of different things. The latest and greatest in technology, all kinds of things that are just exciting and wondrous. And then all of a sudden you walk by a place that has record players, vinyl. What? This was amazing. We're wandering along and everybody goes, oh, records, which is actually becoming very cool these days. One of the things that I found out when I walked by the Crosley booth is that they are actually the last makers of vinyl jukeboxes. Right here, I've got Chris Black, and he's here. He's actually one of the guys who works at the company that makes these off in the UK.
That's correct.
Please tell me about this. This is an amazing machine.
Yeah, well, we've been building jukeboxes in the UK since 1978. My father set the business up, and we've been supplying commercial jukeboxes. Over the past few years, we've been watching the steady rise of vinyl throughout the world. And, I mean, the guys at Crosley, they've really helped with this. They've been pushing this throughout the country. So what we've done is we've gone back and we've recreated the mechanism that we built originally back in the early 80s. Blown the dust off it, and well, say blown the dust off it. It's taken 2 years, completely re-engineered it. And what we've got now is the jukebox that you've seen, and it's created a real storm around the show and around the world, really. There's people coming from all over to see it.
Yeah, well, this is the International Consumer Electronics Show.
It's proven it this week,
and we run into people all over from, I mean, people who just, I haven't even heard of that country. All right. So this is of course not really reinventing technology, but just modernizing something that's been around since way back when.
Yes. Well, I mean, the vinyl record's been out 100 years in various formats. And strangely enough, when our business was formed in 1978. We spent years developing the vinyl mechanism to play the 45s. Within 10 years, they're all gone. It's all gone CD, and then we moved on to digital, and then it's all coming back round again. It's not just about listening to the music with the jukebox. If you stand in front of it, people are just looking at the record all the time. They never take their eyes off it.
It's a visual experience.
It is. There's theatre with it. You see the record pop up. You see the needle come across and track. So it's not just about sitting in your chair and listening. It's actually, you've got the movement, and it just feels right.
And this is just an amazing concept. How is it that there's nobody else left that's doing this? It's just, is it...
well, I'd say...
I guess you're happy because you guys are getting 100% of the business.
We are, but what I would say is we are professional jukebox manufacturers. That's what we do. As I say, we've been building them for almost 40 years. Trying to manufacture a mechanical audio playing machine, if you want, at this digital era is getting harder than it was 30, 40 years ago. So even going back down to producing a cartridge that holds 2 styli,
Yeah,
We're the only people in the world that needs an A-side and a B-side cartridge.
Sure.
Because you don't get off your chair and flip the record over. The machine has to do it. So I would say that building a digital machine is simple these days because it's a computer, you get your programmer, you do it.
Yeah.
With this, because you're turning bits of metal and you're working with balance weights, and it's like building a Swiss watch. It really is. It's very, very delicate.
Yeah.
And trying to do that in the modern era where people really want to just press a button and have a CNC machine do something for them, it's been a hard job. And I think anybody else who wanted to give this a go, it's not something we'd do lightly again, to be honest. Now we've done it. It's great, but there's a few people got more grey hair than when they set off with this project.
Now, I also have Jason here, and he's for more of the residential line of Crosley. And this is one of those things where, okay, we watched the television show Suits. And at Suits, they the lead character, or one of the lead characters, he's got an entire wall of these records. And it's just amazing. You guys have an entire range of vinyl players or record players, ranging from, for anybody who's looking to replace what they've got right now, to even some of the top of the line units over here. Give me just sort of a brief overview of where the market is going, if you would.
Yeah, so vinyl has, over the past 8 years, been on this like crazy resurgence, and it's really been fueled by millennials discovering vinyl for the first time, which is crazy. I read a stat the other day that about 75% of vinyl being bought these days are from people 35 and younger, and just people coming to the booth.
Sure.
Older people coming to the booth cannot believe those stats.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've been making turntables since turntables got killed by CDs in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we just feel super fortunate that it's been making a comeback over the past 8 years.
Sure. Yeah, last year, one of my more amazing audio experiences last year was listening to a Daft Punk album on vinyl here at CES. It was just great. Now, you guys handle an entire line all the way from A to Z. Give me an idea of just a couple of highlight items that you would...
Yeah, Crosley is really known for their sort of cute suitcase entry-level turntables.
Yeah.
That's really what... it's our number one seller. You can find it at Target and Urban Outfitters and like retailers around the world. But last year, around the same time, we introduced a higher end line of turntables called the C Series, and we really wanted to have something for someone who bought like the entry level turntable. They listen to it for a couple of years, maybe they graduate college, get a job, want disposable income, want better sound, better quality unit. They can move up and still stay with the Crosley name. So we're really excited about this new higher level stuff that we're producing today.
Very cool. Would you give out the website where people can find out more about Crosley?
CrosleyRadio.com. That's CrosleyRadio.com.
Very cool. Thank you very much, Jason, and thank you, Chris.
Thanks for having us.
Steve, I found it kind of odd that the smart energy marketplace was it was an awning that goes over a carport.
Yeah.
It was a gazebo that had some tiles on it, which blended nicely. It had some guy showing off an energy system and about 3 other small vendors that are going into the smart energy marketplace. That was it. That was it.
You'd think there'd be more.
Yeah, CES is usually the place for us to see innovation. It's the place for us to see a lot of different things about what the future is going to bring us. Unfortunately, one of the things I saw that the future is going to bring us is drones.
Yeah.
It's going to bring us all kinds of virtual reality, the merged reality, the augmented reality. But what about saving electricity? What about things like that?
Yeah. You don't find that kind of
technology being pushed as much as you do, all of this going out there and using electricity versus saving electricity or coming up with electricity from alternative sources and all that kind of stuff. That technology you don't see here.
I grew up with my grandparents, and they would always say, hey, turn off the light when you leave the room.
Yeah.
And we're giving more reasons to use up electricity versus turning out the lights versus, going along. And yes, some of these companies are saying, yeah, our monitor uses 3% less electricity than it did last year, or 5% or whatever.
That's true.
But that doesn't matter when we move from one monitor to 3 monitors or
6 monitors.
Our 120-inch screen uses 10% less electricity than the 120-inch screen from last year.
Right.
But you bought a 60-inch screen the last time you did it. Now you're buying a 120-inch screen, and it's all a big spiral.
Yeah. Figuring out which screen do I want. Do I want to fill the whole wall or only half the wall? And how much energy am I going to use?
Sure. A whole room. We want to fill the whole room. Why not?
Whole room.
Yes, that's CES. Just some of the odds.
In a nutshell. Times.
Let me tell you about the Radio Factory, an exciting new venue for talk radio. It's the internet, the wave of the present. My name is Benjamin Rockwell, and I'm the host of a syndicated radio program, Computer Talk Radio, so I know the internet is here and now. Many of the hosts at theradiofactory.com have their own podcasts or radio shows across the country, but many people like the comfort of listening to their own special radio show at a specific time and day, much like we watch live television. The internet, as you're probably aware, is a powerful tool that allows the Radio Factory to deliver unique programming with far more variety than the windbags who are simply about contriving up viewpoints to get you riled up. Additionally, you'll find that many of the programs are shorter, giving more information in less time. Stick with theradiofactory.com and see how it evolves to keep you entertained, interested, informed, and above all, intelligent. After all, the Radio Factory motto is building your intelligence one talk show at a time. theradiofactory.com.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, CES, long known as the Consumer Electronics Show, coverage on Computer Talk Radio continues now.
Now it's CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. Now, we normally are looking at a lot of consumer electronics items. We're not seeing things that drift too far out of that range. But once in a while, we do see stuff that they have a product that translates well across a number of different boundaries. For instance, Battery Belt. I'm here with Mark Beluha, and he's with Battery Belt, and he's the president and COO of Battery Belt. And this is a product that really works well in a number of different categories. What caught my eye was the police belt that's sitting right over here, Mark. Tell us about this.
Well, we actually came up with these devices because we were watching people run through the airport looking for outlets.
Yes.
I've been traveling for 30 years professionally, and we wanted to solve that issue. I wanted to be able to have power with me all the time. And so we actually have expanded it from just a normal fashion belt into military, into police, into first responders, so that they can have the power they need without extra weight.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, a police officer, every ounce counts, and carrying around a big, huge plastic case and, finding another pocket for it or clipping it under the belt, that's something that could fall off. You guys include this right in the belt.
Exactly. It's actually right in the belt strap itself. It's encased. What we do is our number one goal has been safety and durability. So for safety, we actually have multiple levels. What we do is there are multiple cells. Each cell actually has a protective circuit right in each cell. So if one cell is going bad or anything, it's shut right off, and the belt continues to operate. We offer these in 8,000 to 25,000 milliamps, so they've got a tremendous amount of power. One of the problems that police officers have is they have to have extra batteries because the NiCad batteries don't last that long.
Sure, yeah. And now we move from there. I mean, you've got that, but you've also got military too.
Absolutely. The military application for radios, for night vision, and those types of things. Currently, they're having to carry AA batteries because they can't find consistent power.
I'm sorry. Carrying AA batteries.
Correct.
Hey, do you guys have a 7-Eleven around here where I can get some AA? That sounds crazy.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they do it is because you can go to a convenience store in Baghdad and still get AA batteries.
I had never thought of, like the 7-Eleven in Mosul or something like that. Yeah. But okay, so basically they can carry around this presuming lithium ion.
Yes, it's actually not lithium ion. It's actually lithium polymer, which is a little safer and more stable. It's also, and that's one of the reasons why we use it for the safety factor. And then they're very small cells, but there's so many of them that they actually gang up to give us that mass of power. And then because of that small size, it's very lightweight.
Very cool. Now, speaking of safety, I presume, these guys we're talking police, military, they're winding up in the pouring rain. Forget pouring rain. Police officer, there's a police officer that hit the news about a month or so ago. He dove into some river to save a kid. I'm like, correct. Okay, all right. So what do you guys do about that?
Well, these units are actually the battery circuit's created, then we actually reinforce it with Kevlar, and then we actually encapsulate it in a polymer so that it's very weather resistant and waterproof.
Very cool. So it's not going to shock them or anything like that.
At all.
Yeah.
No, you just like the old movies when somebody pushes you in the pool, you could actually go for a swim in this, and it's not going to be affected at all.
Nice. Now I see over here you've got also a battery strap that goes with a backpack. Tell me how that works.
Correct. What we do is we've actually the battery belt actually is for straps too. So briefcases, backpacks, the straps themselves. Instead of carrying a charging block, you now can incorporate the actual device as your battery.
Nice. So you basically can have power in a number of different forms. This is great. Mark, do me a favor. Give out the website where people can find out more information on this.
You can find us at batterybelt.com.
I am here with the president of the Airfuel Alliance. Now, air fuel, you're thinking, okay, there's a bunch of gasoline in the air and you're lighting it on fire, something weird. I will tell you, it's not that. I have an experience with this inductive charging kind of concept, but from about 4 years ago, and this was basically wireless charging for your iPhone. You basically put a special case on it, you set it down on this little pad, which was great, and it would charge it, but if you had it just like the wrong way, twisted off to the side one way or the other, all of a sudden it's not charging. Which was great, you set it down, it's all set up, and then my wife or son would come along, and I'd get up in the morning and I'd have no charge. Things have advanced a little bit in those 5 years or so, and that's why I'm talking with Jon Grzeskowiak. And talk to me about this. This is a world that's evolving quickly, I'm sure.
Thank you, and that's very true. As new technologies emerge, we know, even if you look at even digital cameras and you name it in the past, there's a ramp up of how it really makes itself to reach mass consumption. And wireless charging is just like all the others. And so it started out where you can charge a device, let's say a phone, or it could be a case that has the wireless charging built into it. You connect it to a phone, and you have to set it just in the right spot. And I've had the same experience and wake up in the morning and my phone's dead. Yeah. And so we've progressed a lot. And our organization is an industry org that we have hundreds plus members, and what we do is we look at the technology and try to satisfy the multiple use cases that you'll find for people who want to have a battery or have products with batteries in it, and they want it to stay charged and not run out of power. And
yeah. I'm looking here. So we've got, what is this? This is about 1.25 inches of acrylic sitting on some kind of pad, but you're actually able to charge. That actually looks like it is a lightning connector there. Yes. And I see that it just lights up as soon as I set it there.
So how it progressed, and it's all about spatial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, the spatial freedom was limited on the height. You had to have the two items connected very close to each other. Like, for example, the iWatch uses, it's called inductive wireless charging.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be directly, almost in contact with each other. Now it's progressed. So we have a technology in our org called it's resonant charge. It's basically like a tuning fork to inductive charging. So it tunes itself to the right magnetic charging capability, so you can go maybe a couple inches in height. So you could actually mount a charging mat underneath a table, and you could have coils, or the charging pad can be as big as you want it, and you could just put it on a tabletop and you'll start charging your whatever it is, phone. And as you can see over there, Dell just announced a tablet or a detachable that you can charge a high power, 30, 40 watts, using the technology based upon what we do in the Airfuel Alliance.
So you just put the tablet on the table at the end of the night, and
it charges,
and it just charges right up. That'd be great for a coffee table or something. Or probably more like a side table, because you got to run the wires underneath the carpet or whatever.
You still have to do that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
They haven't figured that one out yet. But then there's another technology that we're involved in that's called, it's based on radio frequency.
Okay.
And companies in our org, such as Energis and Humivox, if you look them up, they use radio waves, and you could go 2, 3, 4, 5 feet. And it is it will charge, and it focuses to start in wearables, and so that's another technology that we're seeing emerge for wireless power.
That would be very interesting. I would love to be able to wear my smartwatch to bed and just have it charge automatically overnight. We put it in like the headboard or something, and it could charge like that.
Sometime this year, or at the latest, within the next year to 2 at the most.
Yeah.
Because we don't know when they're coming out with their products. You will see exactly what you just mentioned being introduced into the market.
Very cool. Do me a favor. Give me the website where people can find out more in regards to, the wireless charging and the Airfuel Alliance.
Sure. It's airfuel.org.
Very cool. Thank you very much, Ron.
Okay. You're welcome.
I'm constantly looking for the right place to get the things that are on my nerd wish list. It's not easy. There are so many stores that have gone out of business. There are so many shady characters online, or so many of them are just simply not capable of handling my needs in a one-stop shop. In 1979, 2 guys got together and built the brick-and-mortar company that could serve your tech needs. Of course, today, they've got an online presence, and it's called Micro Center. They've got tablets, iPad, yes, but also Android and Windows and all the accessories, too. They've got laptops, desktops, all-in-ones, Windows or Apple, of course, all covered here. Motherboards and processors, and, okay, all right, who are we kidding? It's really everything to build your own PC. Keyboards, mice, surge protectors, software, tools, and thumb drives. Enough. Look, from Apple to Zyxel, Micro Center has what you're looking for. 25 stores across the nation, or you can check them out online at microcenter.com. That's microcenter.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Deb Shadovitz. And instead of telling you that today I'm recording from, I don't know, some country out there, from some shopping mall or weird location, I'm actually sitting in a meeting room looking at the Daniel Boatman of IK Multimedia.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, we're very excited. One of the products that we're showing here is the new iClip Grip. That's a 4-in-1 sort of multi-function smartphone camera stand. And what I say by multi-function is it'll change between a hand grip, a tabletop tripod, a monopod, or a selfie stick, and a more full-length tripod.
Right, I'm holding it in my hand right now, and I love the grip on it. And the grip is actually shaped really well for my hand, and it actually separates to become a tripod.
Right. The grip itself just sort of splits out into a tripod, so it's great to position. These days, everyone's using their smartphone to do Facebook Live or Periscope or all these things, and so this is a really convenient way to position your device, and you can plug in any one of our microphones to use with it, and have a really great little portable live streaming or podcasting solution.
Yeah, and it's very lightweight. It's fantastic. And if you're recording something of your own self, you use the tripod for it, and it's high enough that you can have your camera and be videotaping yourself.
Exactly.
To do a podcast or something like that as well.
Yeah, it's a great entry-level product, and people seem to really like it, so we're thrilled.
I love it. I'm planning on putting it in my toolbox to take on my next trip.
Well, thank you.
So now the next thing up is a little bit too big for my lightweight backpacking,
Yes.
but it looks absolutely fantastic for people to do videos, and it's called the iClip AV.
Right. The iClip AV is sort of the next step up in our line of, portable video making solutions. So the iClip AV is a hand grip, so picture an L where you're hanging onto the bottom of the L, that will also mount, any smartphone, anything from a 3-inch phone like the iPhone 4 all the way up to the new iPhone 7 Plus or some of the larger Samsung tablets. But what's really unique about it is that it has our iRig pre-circuit built into the handle. So you can plug any microphone right into that. You have phantom power, you have adjustable input gain, you have headphone output, and then that will take the microphone signal, send it into your phone for use with your video or app. And then if you're using a video app that supports real-time monitoring, that signal will come right back out through the headphone output on the hand grip. So it's really an all-in-one solution for shooting video with your favorite microphone and your smartphone.
That's fantastic. And you can use that with any of your microphones, so that's a good thing to have. Now, you have one more thing that's not a travel item, but it's a really good home audio.
It can be. So one of the products that we're showing here at the show that's pretty new are the iLoud micro monitors. And these are ultra compact studio monitors that are designed for small rooms. So they're the first reference quality speakers that were really designed for recording in small spaces, whether that's your home studio or your project studio. The pair of speakers is actually only about 3.5 pounds. So they are very portable. And the great thing is they connect to your computer either through a wired connection or through Bluetooth. And they have just a fantastic frequency response, 55 hertz all the way up to 20 hertz. They're extremely flat. There's a lot of engineering that goes into making sure that they give you the highest possible quality of sound. And the idea there is if you are shooting video or doing mixing or anything on the road where you need to do production, you're able to go and do reference quality mixes or edit the sound, even from your hotel room. You can toss them in a suitcase or a travel bag and take them anywhere you want to go and do your mixing or your final production.
Hey, Daniel, do me a favor. Give out the website where people can find more information in regards to all of these different items from IK Multimedia.
It's www.ikmultimedia.com.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much for being with us, Daniel. I
it was a
appreciate
pleasure.
your help.
Thanks for stopping by.
I'm here with Lori Huff, and I am in the Casio booth. And Lori is showing me this new technology in regards to projectors. Now, for years, you had to have like the perfectly white wall. You'd pull down a screen, or you would paint your wall with this expensive paint that was specifically designed. It had little glass beads in it or whatever it was.
Like non-reflective surfaces.
Exactly.
And yes, like a very specific surface that you could only project onto.
Sure. You guys have just changed the entire dynamic. You've just made something amazing. I'm looking at a wall that it looks like a
curtain,
like a curtain, but it's solid in this case. But yeah, it's like a curtain. It's got that wavy back and forth, like half diamond shape. Coming out from the wall with this flower pattern on it.
With like peaks and valleys.
Yes, there you go. Exactly. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to show me this demonstration.
Yes.
So go for this.
So we, of course, are looking at our screen-free technology here at Casio, which we are debuting here at CES 2017. And yeah, so it kind of like changes the whole game. A normal projected image on this surface would be very distorted.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at it. It's trapezoidal in shape right now, and it's definitely got that pattern on it and the peaks and valleys.
And the flower pattern obviously shows through and really makes the image hard to view.
It looks like these guys are playing hockey on a bunch of flowers.
And with our screen-free technology, it actually scans the surface of the image and then figures out how to compensate for it. So it's going to correct for the shape, and then it actually corrects for the color as well, producing a clear, bright image.
Yeah, this is amazing. Let's walk through this calibration process. Now, you've got a camera. This stays in here just while you're calibrating it.
Correct. Yeah. So every time that you have a new surface, we're going to take a measurement of that, and the camera is what scans the surface, and then it, of course, communicates with the projector in order to figure out how to compensate for it.
So we've got a bunch of blinking green lines going from very large to very thin lines, right where the projector is sending the signal.
And it takes about 30 seconds for it to be able to analyze the surface.
Yeah, as I watched the flowers just disappear. We've got a nice set of pictures rotating through. I liked the hockey game. That was actually
you like the
better.
Hockey game? We can go back to the hockey game.
This is such a cool technology, and this is something that's being debuted here at CES.
Is. Yes, so it is not on the market yet, but it's going to be hitting the market soon. And of course, it just really opens up the possibilities of where you can project an image onto almost any surface on your at your home, in your workplace, or even a storefront display.
Sure, yeah. Some very interesting professional environments could use this.
Yes.
Yeah, I love this. It's a very nice cross-platform thing. Now, is this going to be included in all of the Casio projectors, or
that
just
is a good
special
question.
add-on?
I don't have the answer to that yet. They're still trying to figure out exactly how to package it together. So you'll have to wait for all that information.
News will be coming soon. Give out the website where people can find out more information in regards to Casio projectors.
Yeah, so it's just casio.com/projectors.
Very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, this is Benny Rockwell. Most of us use video cameras nowadays, but what about those old movie films in the back of your closet? Well, let me tell you about Legacy Digital Productions. They specialize in taking your old memories on film, videotape, and slides and digitizing them to DVDs. Imagine Grandpa's old 8mm and 16mm films that are just sitting in a box getting old and fading away. Legacy Digital will clean and recondition those films, capture them digitally frame by frame, and then produce beautiful DVDs of your precious memories on long-lasting, archive-quality discs. They don't use a projector, and your films can't be damaged in the process, the best available for families like yours. The final results are gorgeous. What better way to preserve those precious memories for future generations? Call right now, mention my name, Benny Rockwell, and receive a 30% discount on your order. Call toll-free 1-866-2-LEGACY. That's 1-866-2-LEGACY. 1-866-253-4229. And tell them Benny sent you. Your memories are priceless, so call 866-2-LEGACY now.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, CES, long known as the Consumer Electronics Show, coverage on Computer Talk Radio continues now.
All right, now we are, of course, covering all kinds of stuff here at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Hey, Steve, real quick, you did mention an interesting usage of technology on the flight.
On the flight out here, there was a woman sitting next to me. And I'm looking at her, and she's got her tablet. And it's a small one. It was only like 7-inch one. But she's sitting there with it. And she turns on the camera, but not to take a picture. She's using the camera as if it was a mirror so that she could do her makeup and everything else just before landing. And she redid her hair and everything. And using that camera as a mirror so that she could see what she was doing.
That is, I had not really thought about it. I mean, it makes common sense. It makes great sense to be doing that. All right, so let's head to the floor and let's see what we can talk about next.
One of the booths that I like to spend at least a little bit of time at playing pinball. What? Pinball at CES? Yes, the Consumer Electronics Show covers the entire range of consumer electronics and pinball games. Well, it used to be in the arcades.
Well,
now,
they still are.
Yeah,
but they're also in homes.
Wait, where is an arcade? They're a lot less.
No, well, they're actually family entertainment centers.
Sure.
And there's a trend now also to barcades, and a barcade is a bar, typically a night spot for young people, and instead of having DJ or a band, they may have 30, 40 upright pinballs from the 80s, Robotron, Defender, easy to learn, hard to master, and 10 or 15 pinball machines. Again, well-designed pinball is easy to learn, hard to master. It is, the first rule of pinball is keep the ball on the playfield, but there are deeper rules. But, for a casual player, it's fun. There's usually some bash toy that you whack at, and it's fun.
Yeah, that's the voice, by the way, of Gary Stern of Stern Pinball.
Who couldn't wait to be introduced because you were talking about pinball and had to talk about it right away.
Man, I just opened the topic and you dive right in. So you guys have a number of really nice games. I like the Batman game. Let's talk about Batman for a moment.
Batman celebrates our 30th anniversary of our company. The company was 30 years old in the end of 1986. Batman 66, which is what this is based on, interestingly, was 50 years old in 2016. So their 50th, our 30th. We made a special game for Batman. And we did it in conjunction with Joe Kamenkow's studio. Joe was my design associate 30 years ago, and my very dear friend. And this is it's a great game. One of the things that's so special about it is it's our first game where we have replaced the dot matrix display with an LCD. And the other game with an LCD here is our next cornerstone game or main game. We make 2 or 3 cornerstone games a year, games that have pro, premium, and limited edition versions for different player groups or buyer groups, and it also has the LCD. The LCD display on Batman has its visuals are our animation on top of TV clips from the Batman 66 show.
Yeah.
The Aerosmith has our own home-created, home-drawn animation on it.
Yeah.
But the game is still on the playfield, and both have great action playfields.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I'm very very fond of the old Batman TV series. So hearing Adam West's voice in it and the whole bit, that's great.
Oh yeah, he was great. He was a lot of fun to work with, and we made a premium edition, which was a little fancier, and then fancier than that, a limited edition. Instead of being numbered like we would 1 to 500.
Sure.
It is instead, there's 240, there's 121 for each episode, and 121 for 120 different gadgets. And then we made a super limited edition that has an incredible sound system and so forth and so on it. We actually have sold all of the limited edition and the super limited editions, and we are making just premiums, and we'll continue to make them for some time. But what a great title, what a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Now, one more thing. You've got something called here, something here called the Can Crusher, and I understand you guys made this for somebody else.
Yes, this is a private label game made for for corporate use. We made it for Pat's Blue Ribbon. And we made it custom for them. They use this game for promotional purposes. I've seen pictures of this game in a liquor store piled up with cases of beer and whatever. And the reason they do that, there's a resurgence in pinball, and people know pinball is cool. Marketing guys know pinball is cool.
Yeah.
We see the young people going to the barcades, and they're opening. There's 7 barcades within 4 miles of my apartment in downtown Chicago. So it's a great trend, and Paps saw the trend and thought it would be a good marketing device. We will do this for other companies. The technology it's not cheap, but the technology allows us to do artwork, custom artwork, and whatever. Where we used to have silk screens and films and rubies and stuff like that. Now you can digitally print a lot of stuff, even on wood.
Very cool. That, of course, again, is Gary Stern with Stern Pinball. Give out the website where people can find more information in regards to your pinball games.
It's real simple, sternpinball.com.
Very cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks again.
This is a special extended presentation of Computer Talk Radio. In radio markets where this show lasts only an hour, you will find extra information on the podcast at computertalkradio.com. That's computertalkradio.com.
Years ago, I found a web hosting company that fit my needs as a computer nerd, as a radio show host, and, well, a normal person. Recently, though, it became clear to me that it was time to upgrade. I had a choice between my old plan and the new one at 7 times the cost. It was that awkward point where I could choose between a sip of water or being dunked in a pool. I searched around, comparing the many options for someone like me. After looking for 3 weeks, there it was, SiteGround. In proper fashion, I tested their customer service, their knowledge, and their care, their willingness to do things the right way. The SiteGround salesman made sure that I didn't overbuy and get a 50-gallon bucket when all I needed was a 1-gallon bucket. The folks at SiteGround know WordPress, Joomla, and more. SiteGround.com. S-I-T-E ground.com for your web hosting needs. SiteGround.
CES coverage on Computer Talk Radio continues now.
So as much as we would love to spend all kinds of time at CES, we really have to go home. And there's so many different things that we think about. Most of the, at this point, sleep. Jon Grzeskowiak is back with us here, and that's because he's realized that CES isn't all there is to the world. Briefly, tell me what's going on.
Okay, so Ben, about 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to sort of simplify my life a little bit. Owning and operating a company is more than a full-time job. You know, it's 10 to 12 hours a day, including weekends. So for the last 2 years, I've been thinking about how to sort of make my life easier, step back, sort of a partial exit, make a partial exit. So what I'm in the process of doing is simplifying Radtech, and the biggest thing that we're doing is we are going to discontinue distribution of third-party products.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are going to sort of get back to our roots and just do the products that, you know, I design and manufacture. And that will probably take at least half of my working hours away, and then I'm sort of looking at some other options to further reduce that. So,
but yet you've got something else, though. You've got something else that's going to fill that time that actually is really awesome.
Right. So as I transition away from Radtech, I'm starting a nonprofit venture for children with terminal illnesses. So I'm in the process of, I've already purchased a horse and cattle ranch that I'm turning into sort of a destination for kids to be able to come and, you know, forget about everything else going on in their lives and just, you know, kind of get back to nature and maybe see some things they've never seen before, do some things they've never done before. See a sky that is black as you can imagine, with no light pollution and stars and galaxies that, you know, many of us don't see. Exactly. I picked a place that is absolutely a perfect location for this, and so I'm very excited about that. And you know, I've had this place for about a year now, and we've been doing a lot of work, you know, getting it ready for this, and it is really hard to tear myself away and go back to work. I mean, it's amazing the effect that nature is having on me, you know. I mean, when you're so wrapped up in tech and you sort of like forget about what else is out there, you know, and there is a whole nother world out there that I think sometimes we're all missing. So I'm really excited about this.
So we can't spend all of our lives at CES.
No, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
We shouldn't. We all need, I think, to kind of take a step back from tech and appreciate what nature has given us. So.
That's Jon Grzeskowiak. That's just mind-blowing news. This is Benjamin Rockwell. You're listening to Computer Talk Radio. We'll catch you next week.
Let me tell you about the Radio Factory, an exciting new venue for talk radio. It's the internet, the wave of the present. My name is Benjamin Rockwell, and I'm the host of a syndicated radio program, Computer Talk Radio. So I know the internet is here and now. Many of the hosts at theradiofactory.com have their own podcasts or radio shows across the country, but many people like the comfort of listening to their own special radio show at a specific time and day, much like we watch live television. The internet, as you're probably aware, is a powerful tool that allows the Radio Factory to deliver unique programming with far more variety than the windbags who are simply about contriving up viewpoints to get you riled up. Additionally, you'll find that many of the programs are shorter, giving more information in less time. Stick with theradiofactory.com and see how it evolves to keep you entertained, interested, informed, and above all, intelligent. After all, the Radio Factory motto is building your intelligence one talk show at a time.